Always change.
Always change. All it takes is one gap. York running back out to the centre to retake to take the restart.
Very confusingly on this pitch, we also have American football markings.
Yeah, not helpful.
But we're playing with the white lines. Right. It'll be Poppy here, number 10, taking the kick.
Lancaster getting ready.
And it's off.
And the kick has been taken. Ooh. Really good chase by York on that wing.
But knocked forward from the kickoff, so we'll go back for a York scrum.
Yeah, second scrum of the game. First scrum was very dominant by York.
Yeah, York have been doing a lot of work on their scrums recently.
Yes, and as I said earlier, with Lancaster's fresh front row, you don't know how things are going to go in full opposed scrums. We've not done full opposed scrums. Yeah. I don't think. I am a back. I could be wrong.
Oh, you're a 9, you're nearby.
I'm nearby. I see some things.
So York put in.
Oh.
And a free kick to Lancaster. I presume an early push.
Yeah, early push or a pre-hook, I think. Or
yes,
I think
might be break
like
foot.
Yeah, break foot. A lot of Lancaster supporters, it's just because we can see over. We're on the York side of the pitch, but I'm sure they're over here as well.
Yeah, we had plenty of support out for the threes. I'm sure they'll all be back by now. They better be.
Yeah.
And we've tapped and gone.
Yeah, to the pod. That's Emmy Wilson, our president, taking it in.
Fantastic tackle there.
Hannah AC, our 9, giving it to Lily.
Tipped out to the pod.
Given to Lila, our number 8. Our number 10, Kate Parker, calling for it.
Out to 12.
Hannah Ashworth, our captain, to Katie Morgan, who's almost tackled. Oh, dominant tackle put in.
Massive tackle there from Izzy Solomon of York.
Yeah, good counter-ruck by York, but not held. Kate Parker to Chloe Burgess. Taken down. Ruck secured, however, the 9 is in. 9 is back out now to pass it.
Slow breakdown here. Out to 10. Out the back of the pod, but it's fumbled backwards. York with a massive press up.
Yes, very good pressure by York.
And tackled, I think.
It's hard to see.
Yes, tackled. Yes. Brought down by York.
Yeah, Lancaster has been pushed back about 20 metres from the break they made down the wing by the winger. There has been a penalty conceded by York, however, I don't know what for. I think it was holding on, yeah. It'll be Kate Parker kicking to touch for the penalty. Makes about
nice
20
kick.
metres, 15, 20 metres on the kick.
We've lost the ball to the bush.
Yeah.
So it'll be a Lancaster
Lancaster
line out from here.
Yes. I don't know what I'm saying. Lancaster throw in at the line out. It'll be Lily Murphy throwing the ball in. The wind has just picked up just as the throw-in's about to happen, which
Always
is not
happens.
ideal.
They've retained the line out.
York has won it from the line out with it not being gathered at the top.
Turned over, York in possession. Out to the first pod. Verity Faith taking it in. Tackle backwards.
Ball is out, however, they are not playing it. Off the foot, I believe.
Yeah, off the foot, so York has stayed in possession.
Lancaster playing a very narrow defence.
Storming
York
through
is
the middle.
through. However, they've been tackled by Patty Elliott, our 15. Lancaster playing a very narrow defence.
Loose pass, but
picked up by 13. York.
Ball retained. Lily Roberts there, our devs officer, taking the ball in. Number 20.
York playing a slower ruck with the 9 picking it up, throwing it and running it.
Offloaded in the tackle by Beth. Made a few more metres, but 9's been caught in the ruck. Be pick and go from here.
Some good tackles being done by Lancaster, however, York is still keeping in possession. Oh, with a good pick and go there, making a good few metres.
Alex Hill with the pick and go.
And another.
Izzy Solomon making more metres than she's worth.
That was a really good pick and go.
Out to Lily Roberts again.
And number 20 for York, storming through.
Bust.
Yeah, York has a big overlap on the left-hand wing. However, I'm not sure if Lancaster has clocked onto that. Oh, good tackle. Very dominant tackle made by the 15 by Lancaster.
Ella Bolster there. Making a good few yards. York making very slow but steady pace up the pitch here. Out to 10, out to a pod. Tackled by Lancaster. Out to 10 again, out to 12. Hannah Drake.
Yeah,
out
straight through the gap, just short of the try line.
Makes a good 5 meters there. Out again to 15, Ellie Blunt. Tackled by Lancaster well. Ball retained in York's possession, but thrown loose, so it's been turned over.
York, however, had an advantage. I'm not sure what the advantage was for.
I'm
think it may have been a
presuming
high
offside.
I'm not sure.
Oh.
Almost taken quick by the 9.
And the wrong
ref was
place.
called back, yeah.
Too eager.
Very too eager. 9 has tapped it on the floor and passed it to the pod out wide.
Izzy
That's
Solomon
number
there.
7. York is storming through, almost on the try line.
Right out on the far touchline here, York.
Pick and go, very dominant pick and go. Can they get it down though? I think they're just short at this point.
Yeah, difficult to tell from where we stood. Can York get their first points of the match?
It looks as though Lancaster have driven them back in quite a few meters with that tackle.
Yeah, big tumble of bodies here.
Yes, the 9
and ball's
picks
coming
10.
out. 10
over the top,
to
missed
13.
pass.
Out to Misha on the
Number
wing.
11 through and scored it. That was a lovely miss pass. I'm not sure whether it came from the 10 or the 12, but a lovely miss pass over to the winger.
Misha Burrell there, out number 11 with the score. Our most prolific twos try scorer.
Oh, really?
Absolutely rapid
Living
she
up
is.
to her name. Yeah, so as we said, just after Lancaster scored their previous try, things can change very quickly.
Yeah. Score now 14-5 with the conversion to come.
Yes.
Right. Number 15, Ellie Blunt here taking the conversions. Very new to goal kicking. And it's not gone far enough.
No,
But good
effort though. Good effort. It's not easy to do kicks for conversion.
No, it's not.
A lot of us fail miserably when we try.
Right. So it will be Lancaster kicking off here, York receiving.
Lancaster running up to the line. Are they going to take it quickly? Maybe.
They are well within their rights.
They're well in within their rights.
They can take it as soon as they want to.
And they're going for it. They've done a quick kick.
York
it's just
not
gone
quite
10.
Set, but
Lancaster's managed to regather after a bit of a fumble on the floor. Bit of a scrappy ruck going on. Ball not
an
sure where it
advantage
is.
being played for that. Hands in the ruck. Out to the pod.
Lovely tip on to Isabella Medley, Lancaster's number 4. Ball stolen in the ruck, however, going back for the advantage of the offside, impeded by York. York are marching back, not march back. York are retreating 10 for the penalty.
I suspect that quick kickoff will have kicked them up the arse.
Absolutely.
Kick them up a little bit.
So that'll be a Lancaster line out on the, I think the 22, maybe just a little bit further than the 22.
Yeah, we're getting very close to York's try line here.
Yes, yeah. The wind has slightly picked up a little bit, so
and
it might
the
be.
sun's just going in.
Yeah, and the sun's just gone in, so it looks like it may be a little bit difficult, a little bit harder for the line out. However, I think the wind may just die down a little bit.
You can only hope.
You can only hope.
It's
not fun otherwise.
York been putting lots of pressure on Lancaster's lineouts, but they've been functioning quite well so far.
Yes,
Up at
line
the
out
front.
successfully taken by number 8, Lila Shuttler.
And
Put
out to
the
a forward.
pod.
Great tackle.
That ruck is secured. Number 10, Kate Parker calling for it. To the 13, Anna Lyon, who's run it in.
Tackled by Verity Thafe of York.
Yeah. No, 9 has had to clear out the rucks. There's no 9.
Ball's out
Ball
and
is
stolen!
out and stolen. Very good read by York.
Elika Hoffer there. Out to
running
York.
it in.
Can't quite tell who it is from
No.
here. And out again, all the way out to the touchline they're going. Lily Rogstad there, I think, with the carry. Excellent players, played every single twos game for York this year.
That's impressive.
Out to 10 and out to a pod again.
Good tackle,
Tipped.
very good tackle by 15. Oh, not 15. It was not 15.
Whistle blown, and we're going back for a knock on. Lancaster ball.
Very good pressure put on by Lancaster in particular. That was our number 19, Hannah Milling, who is known for being a bit of a bullet on on defence. They're very good at making reads on defence and just attacking.
Yeah, Lancaster's line speed has been very good so far. They're clearly putting pressure on in defence. Right, Lancaster feed here this scrum. But we're stopping. Something wrong.
Yeah, the first scrum of the match was very dominant by York, but I think we've had one since then, and this one's had to just be reset.
Yeah.
So something's clearly not going right. Whether the gap's not being held in the channel, or whether it's hitting. I'm not sure. I've never been in a scrum myself, so I'm not actually sure.
Yeah, sometimes they take getting used to. Every team scrummages differently, and especially as a front row, you have to figure it out.
Yes.
Right, carried by 13, Lancaster there. And ball held. So
out to the pod. That is Ellie Speakman. Oh, it's just been knocked on.
So we'll go back for a York scrum this time. Very much the same position as the last.
Quite literally the exact same position. Hopefully this one will go a bit better. The sun is just coming out to shine on them again. It's feeling quite nice and warm when the wind's not blowing.
Yeah, the weather really can't make up its mind today.
No.
Keep putting clothes on, taking clothes off, switching hats, all sorts. But good rugby weather,
At
I
least
think.
it's not raining. That's all we can ask for.
No rain. Ground's firm underfoot.
Yep.
You're not going to go sliding around.
No.
Out to Ellie Blunt, 15.
And nice
and a kick.
And
a kick. Out to 10, out to the pod. Nice little tip on to number
Isabella
4,
Medley's
Lancaster.
just taken it in. Oh,
And
it's
ball's
stolen
been
by
knocked
York.
forward. Stolen by York. York in possession, Lancaster on the defence. Out to
Ooh.
Ree. Number 13 of York making a smashing carry. And they picked and gone.
Yes. Oh,
Made an amazing meters
making
there.
many
Lily
meters.
Rogstad.
not Lancaster. York have a very big overlap on the left-hand side of the pitch. However, I'm
We
not
pick
sure
and
if
gone
they
again.
called it.
9 stuck in the ruck. I suspect there'll be another.
Advantage. York has got
Fantastic tackle
advantage.
there. Number 19, Lancaster, I think. Betsy
Very good
here,
carry by number 1.
And we're out to the backs. Number 10 to number 12, Hannah Drake. Breaks
Lovely
through the
carry.
first
Breaks
tackle.
through the line.
Breaks through the second.
However, cover tackle by our number 15, Patty Elliott.
But ball's been stolen.
However, going back for the advantage.
What for? We'll find out in a second.
I think it was
Offside.
offside, yes. Lancaster going back 10. York looking like they're setting up for the tap and go. And yes, they go to the left. Tap
Alex
and go
Hill.
to number 5. Storming down the pitch. Lancaster were not on it and did not head up with their line speed.
Picked and gone here. Coco Johnson, number
Lovely
9.
carry, tip to number 7, who's taken down by number 15 by Lancaster.
Pick and go here again.
Taken
Verity Faith, number
blindsided-
6. Ball retained by York. Another pick and
Taken
go.
by the
Alex
blind
Hill,
side
number
again.
5. Getting dangerously close to the sideline here.
Ball's out to the pod. Taking it in by number 7, tipped to 10, to 12, to 13. Oh, good, very good read by Lancaster, number 5.
Yeah, York just need to go forward there.
Yeah.
A lot of going sideways.
York have lost about 15 metres on that phase there.
Izzy Solomon here
Going
with the
round
carry.
side.
We've gone the entire width of the pitch and are now on the other touchline.
Oh, turned
Ball
over by
stolen.
Lancaster. That's Ellie Speakman. Carried in.
Setting up a pod here.
I think there'll be a kick soon. It's a big part of the game plan. Yeah, kicked by Kate Parker, number 10. A big boot down the pitch.
Very
Will
nice
it be a
kick.
favourable bounce? Oh, almost.
Just dropped
taken
into
by
touch by number 11. Lancaster, that is. So it'll
It's
be
a
a York scrum. York line out, sorry.
It was a lovely kick chase by Laura Rugby down that wing. However, just an unfavourable bounce, just the last second. The kick chase and Lancaster's kicking game is a big part of how. Good contest in the air. Scrum Lancaster put in. However, just not forward.
Jump was good, but throw not quite far
No.
enough. Just knocked on in the air. We'll see if these scrums settle down. They've been a little bit back and forth. I think York front row still getting used to it.
Yeah, I think the last scrum was more settled than the previous ones, but we'll see how this one goes, especially because it's a Lancaster put-in this time.
Yeah.
Oh, York driving Lancaster back. It's a
Amazing
very
scrum
good.
by York there.
I'm not sure whether we're playing under 19 rules at the scrum potentially for this match, so it's a 1.5 maximum push if we are playing under 19 rules.
Oh,
Penalty for a high tackle in Lancaster's favour. Lancaster looking as though they're going to kick towards the touchline. Get the territory. Will the kick make it? Yes, lovely kick.
Excellent
Made about
kick there.
30 metres on that kick.
York here pinned in their own 22 with a Lancaster throw in.
Yes, we
looking
just have,
dangerous.
Yeah, we have to hope that the line-out is settled this time. They've been a bit all over the place. I think we've had one or two successful line-outs, but what's happened here?
We're
I
breaking
think it
for
might
some
be a
reason.
water break.
It's-
It's looking like it's a water break. It's quite a hot day here.
Yeah, I did wonder if they'd stop for water breaks.
Yeah.
Traditionally, water breaks every 20 minutes in rugby.
Yeah, especially the ground is very hard here. The sun is shining when you're running around, and it's an intense game of rugby. Lots of tackles being made, lots of meters being made. You get tired out very quickly, very dehydrated.
Well, while we've got a little break, if you've just joined us or joined us recently, this is the Women's Rugby Union 2's fixture.
Yes,
York versus Lancaster.
Scores currently 14-7. No, 14-5, sorry.
To Lancaster,
To Lancaster. But it's been a very tight game with York actually playing majority of the phases in Lancaster's half.
Yeah.
In this past kind of 20 minutes.
Two breakout tries by Lancaster on either wing, actually.
Yeah, both wings have managed to score. So that's Laura Rugby on the left wing.
But after a very lovely set of phases.
Lancaster supporters currently cheering as they're setting up for the line out. But I'm sure York supporters will pick up as soon as the water break's done for York.
Yeah. This fixture, of course, worth 2 points in the complete running of Roses. Score currently York 74, Lancaster 105.
Oh.
So Lancaster in the
York are catching up.
Yeah, we are getting there.
Catching up.
We've
Yeah.
been solidly 30 points behind, I think, the entire week. But we'll get there maybe.
You never know. I think right at the start, the first couple of fixtures, York was actually ahead, and then Lancaster, I think, caught up with the rowing. I think.
Yeah. Lancaster better at rowing. We're really
Yeah.
good at York. This is really good at winning fixtures that don't count for any points.
I think Lancaster just seemed to pick up on the smaller sports that you wouldn't really think about.
Yeah.
I think we're really good at squash and climbing. I think.
Yeah. Korfball, bizarrely.
Of course.
Right, we've restarted.
Yes,
Lancaster in
back to
possession.
Oh, dominant tackle made by York. However, hard time getting
Wrapped her up here.
Harriet Potts, number 5, Lancaster, had their hands on it, but cleared out by number 8, Lila Shuttler.
Number
That's
10.
Kate Parker
Cuts
taking
back
it in. Lancaster currently playing with an advantage. It's number 15, Patty Elliott, playing 9. However,
Ball's gone loose. So we're going back for the penalty.
To the advantage.
Offside by York. So Lancaster
Taken by Chloe Burgess, number 6. Ball has been... ball I think is lost. I think York
very
has
scrappy ruck there.
I think York has turned it over.
Yes, York turned over.
Oh, how dropped down the wing though.
Just dropped by number 8, Jazz Morris. Won't be pleased with that.
We're playing a Lancaster scrum about 10 metres from the try line, so a dangerous zone. However, the York scrums have been very dominant recently.
Yeah,
and
the last one marched him back good 2-3 metres.
Yeah. So you never know with scrums. Usually they're the safe option. However, the York pack seems very, very confident and cohesive.
Yeah, like I said, we're doing a lot of scrum work recently. Got a new coach for Roses, Dave Hartley. Very
lovely.
nice man. Been doing a lot of scrummaging with us. Incredibly enthusiastic about it. So it'll be a Lancaster put in here.
Oh, and the scrum is being reset. It collapsed.
Yeah, moving a little bit too much there for the referee to be happy with it.
Oh.
Yeah, so remains Lancaster possession.
And the ball has been put in. Ball is out. to number 10, Kate Parker, to number 12, Hannah
Back to
Ashworth.
10.
Back to 10,
Another
lovely
loop.
little loop. However,
Ball's loose, but picked up by 15.
and out to the
11.
wing, Laura Rigby down the wing. And
Absolutely
she
rapid.
has,
Breaks one
she's
tackle.
put it down.
And
she's put it
scores
down.
eventually. She's definitely trying to go for
So the score is currently
19-5.
19-5, and we'll
With the-
see whether Laura manages to get this kick. She's a seasoned footballer who is actually the Lancaster Football 2's captain. So Laura's infamous for having a very good boot on her, having played yesterday and captaining the Lancaster Football 2's.
Ooh, that's very impressive.
Yeah. She's played yesterday, went back to Lancaster, come back this morning to play again,
Mad.
and I suspect she'll probably be back tomorrow to watch the ones match.
She's
a committed girl.
Did she play last year for the twos?
Yeah, her debut
At
match.
10?
No.
Or
that
at
was
11 again?
That was our 10 last year. Hattie.
Oh, okay.
No, they do look quite similar though.
Yeah.
No, but in fact, yeah, Laura's debut match, first ever rugby match, was Rose's. The 2's Rose's match last year. So
what a debut to make.
what a debut to make! It's
Jesus.
very impressive. I don't think she got that kick.
No,
So
so we'll remain 19-5 to
Yes.
Lancaster here.
Their kick, Lancaster not responding quick enough. They need to turn and face.
We've had one quick kick-off already.
Yeah, they don't want to feel a
responding
taste of their own
kind.
medicine.
You're being willed on by their fans here. Friends and family out in force. Lovely sunny day
Yeah,
for
what a
it.
lovely day for it. You can't think of a better day to sit and watch rugby, to be honest.
Nothing like last year. It was miserable.
No,
So-
it was miserable.
Kick off here. Lancaster
Good
gathered.
kick.
First tackle broken, but brought down just before the halfway line. And ball's out to 10.
Number 10.
Out to Pod. But
Oh.
no one with it, and the ball's loose, but picked up again. But we're going back for an advantage.
Yes, I'm not sure if everyone clocked onto it. I think they wanted to play the phase. I think they must have been playing a penalty advantage.
York definitely hurrying back. Ball retained, picked and gone. Izzy Solomon there. Number 7.
The ball is out. Taken down by number 9, Hannah AC.
Out to 10, out to Pod. Lily Roberts,
Oh, making good, very impressive.
out
I
to
wish-
10, out to 12.
Oh, lovely line being
Bree
ran by number
Ali
13
Malek.
there, I believe. However, Lancaster's piled into that counter-ruck. I'm not sure whether they have access. No, I don't think.
York
They've
retained
not won the
possession,
ball.
but 9's pick and gone.
The ball has now been reversed the other way to number 5, tipped to number 6.
Verity Faith.
Ball has
Picked
been
and gone.
picked.
Ella Kahoffa there at number 2. Out to Lily Roberts, number 20.
Who's
with
doing
the
a
Pod.
lovely line, however, tackle taken down by Patty Elliott, number 15. Lovely tackle. Ball is up by the 9.
Offloaded. Ruby Clark down the wing.
Oh, being pushed into touch.
And into
just about.
touch.
Katie Morgan just about managed. Yes, yeah, right in front of us. It's perfect view. The wind once again has just picked up as the line out is about to happen, which is so helpful.
Go in the right direction this time. I'll give her a
Yes,
hand.
yeah. Doing the line out for Lancaster. Ball has gone loose.
Ball fumbled again.
It has been regathered by a York player. Ball just did not get enough height on it at the line out. It's been,
York
and I
trying
think
to
that's
slow
what they're
down the
doing.
rucks.
Very good kick,
Oh,
very well, very good
excellently
regather.
fielded.
Very good take by number 15 York. I think she was retreating whilst catching that, which was very impressive.
Incredible carry, and she's still on her feet. Only just brought down. Lancaster with their hands in that ruck.
Yeah.
And have won the penalty.
Lancaster managed to win the penalty, I think, from not releasing. It looks as though they're going to go for touch, get the territory game.
Yeah. Number 10
Number
with
10.
an excellent boot. Getting all of these kicks good 20 metres downfield.
Yeah, I know that Kate Parker, the Lancaster number 10, has put in a lot of work for her kicking game. A lot of work, and progressed so much over the season. The kicking game is so effective as well because it's so tiring, you know, because now the new laws coming in for players.
You have to retreat.
You have to retreat, so you can't just wait to be put onside by a player running on from behind the kicker. You have to retreat actively until you are put onside, which it stresses the teams a lot in terms of, you know, just those extra meters. Halftime has just been called after an unsuccessful line-out.
So we go into half-time, 24-5 to Lancaster. Good showing for both teams.
Very good. I don't think the score, it's a very even match, which the score doesn't reflect.
Yeah, two tries right out the blocks for Lancaster within the first 5-10 minutes or so that York just haven't quite been able to recover from so far.
Yeah. It's those early strikes just by the wingers which have really, they put Lancaster ahead massively. And even when York's had a lot of territory in Lancaster half, I think just having that security of those 12 points underneath their belt at the start of the match has kind of given them that freedom to just play intuitive rugby rather than having to stress.
It's a huge psychological blow to get scored on twice like that. It's difficult to pick yourself up from.
Definitely. However, York have done really well. I think the only area is just scrums where things are going a bit difficult, but I think it's hard to tell what's actually.
They have at least been they've been free kicks rather than penalties, which is always more it's always better for the team being conceded.
Yeah, the last thing you want is to concede a card from infringing in the scrums.
Yeah.
And let's just remind ourselves of the overall Roses score so far. So Lancaster is, of course, in the lead with 105 points compared to York's 76. And obviously, both of our lovely commentators here today do actually play rugby. And it's important to remember how much hard work really goes into this one weekend a year. So would you guys maybe like to talk a little bit about how much work these athletes are probably putting in order to get here every week?
Yeah, I know for a fact that the York Twos, it's an incredibly competitive team. We've had a lot of new players come in this season and lots of amazing players who've worked so hard. 4 training sessions a week, expected to do 2 or 3 fitness sessions outside of that, and individual skills on themselves. Selection's been really quite competitive, especially with our threes team happening this year as well. I know for a fact that Lancaster do a boot camp, don't you?
Yes. So we have, it varies year to year depending on how long we do it, but this year we've had 4 weeks of boot camp. So we come up during the Easter holidays and we have sessions daily. I think we have one day off a week, and those we have on-pitch sessions. We also have strength, speed and agility sessions, and we have gym sessions multiple times a week. So boot camp is it's very intense, but it's very effective. And I mean, the twos team has just grown immensely from their time in boot camp. And boot camps it's a competitive environment. Everyone is vying for their spot. You know, regardless of whether you've played in the ones all season or whether you've been bench in a twos team or anything. Everything is up for grabs, and it is purely just based on how you perform in boot camp. And everyone has done amazing. It's been amazingly run this year as well. But everyone has just absolutely pulled it out of the bag with how much commitment they've put in. And just all for this lovely weekend, for this one match, which is insane. I can't believe it's actually here.
Amazing. We've got one change coming on the York side. Number 15, Ellie Blunt, is coming off. She looks in a bit of pain, and she's playing in a 14 shirt because apparently we've got 2 of them. But it's Ruby Dorsey who's coming on at 15.
So we have lots and lots of supporters out on the pitch today, and of course we have plenty more rugby fixtures going on this weekend, as well as plenty of other events. So I know the men's has been going on this morning as well, and we've got rugby ones tomorrow and rugby threes we had today. So lots of things for you guys to tune in to. And morale seems quite high for both teams so far. And what sort of things will they have been talking about during half time?
I think the Lancaster team, they would have been just talking about doing what they're doing. However, they've just restarted with a lovely kick by number 10, Lancaster. But
fielded excellently by number 6 of York, Verity Faith.
There's a big overlap on the left-hand side of the pitch, which York are exploiting currently. However, taken down by Katie Morgan, the Lancaster winger. York with an advantage after Lancaster not releasing.
York pick and gone. Alex Hill, number 5, there with the ball, making a good few metres.
The ref is going back for the advantage, going back for the penalty, sorry.
Yeah, hands in the ruck there from Lancaster, number 3. So penalty here for York. They're in their own half, but just outside their own 22. So we're tapping and going. Out to Izzy Solomon at the head of the pod.
Yes.
Okay, another penalty
Another
here.
penalty conceded by Lancaster. Number 5, Harry Potts for a high tackle.
Nothing malicious in that, just gone a bit
No.
too high. It happens sometimes.
Yep.
Out to Lily
Very
Roberts.
strong carry. Very strong carry by, I think that was number 20, York.
Yes.
Overtaken down by number 19, Lancaster, Hannah Milling.
Izzy Solomon again there, number 7 in with the carry. As I said earlier, an absolute menace. I've never seen someone throw themselves into tackles like she does.
York, I believe, have an advantage currently.
Yes, I'm not sure
I'm not
entirely
sure
what
that was
for.
for. No.
Out to the pod, tipped on, taken in by captain. and
Lovely
offloaded to
pass,
9.
yeah. Lancaster's attack is really aggressive and on it. However, discipline has not been there for Lancaster, with them conceding 3 penalties.
Okay, we're just stopping here for a head injury. Number 7, Izzy Solomon.
Yeah, I believe she was the one who got the high tackle made on her, and then I think another pretty hard tackle
Poor Izzy.
in the wars.
Yeah.
No, it's important to take it seriously. Anytime that a ref believes that there's been a serious head contact, they have to stop the game and have them assessed.
Yeah, it does unfortunately happen in rugby. By the looks of it, if she comes off, I suspect they will take her off just in case. Emily Paul, number 18, will be coming on.
She's ready. She's ready to go.
Already on the
Yeah.
pitch.
Yeah, I believe Lancaster in their little in their huddle there, I think they're about to restart. Lancaster will be saying about discipline, about getting those tackle heights down and being disciplined with how they're playing.
Yeah, been a lot, quite a few penalties.
3
conceded
penalties
in
in
the
a
past few
couple of minutes is not what Lancaster want to play like.
York coach trying to run off with the ball.
So Lancaster making sure they retreat.
Izzy
And
has
I'm ready.
stayed on. Clearly deemed no concussion risk by our physios today. Well, I say physio, first aid trained.
It's always good to check.
Out to 10 to a kick. Nice contestable up and under there. Not gone massively forwards.
Kick gathered by number 22, Clemmy Anderson.
Okay, kept in possession by Lancaster here.
Oh, I think it was a slight knock-on on the floor. So it'll be a scrum to York.
New front rower, Sam Hall on here. We'll see if he makes any difference to the free kicks that kept being given away.
Yeah, hopefully we see some more stable scrums this time round. It's always nice to see a continuation of play rather than having breaks. Even though free kicks aren't penalties, it's still nice to see it just flowing through.
Yeah. Obviously, a rule change within the last year or so. You can't call another scrum from a free kick anymore. You have to tap and go.
Yes.
Very upsetting as a front rower. And ball's out. York. Another kick.
Kicked it. Which has been gathered by the captain of Lancaster, Hannah Ashworth, tipped on to Patty Elliott.
Oh, fantastic.
Tipped on to
pass
Laura
there.
Rigby, number 11, going round the
Steaming
side,
down
however,
the
cut back
side.
in. She is a slippery player, hard to get hold of. However,
Just
she's
about
been
brought
taken
down.
Oh, the ball was out and has been taken by York.
Ruby Dorsey there with a turnover, only recently on. On at 15, can play 8 as well. Out to 10 and kicked again.
Has
Lancaster
been gathered by
regathered.
Clemmy Anderson, number 22, and tipped, however, not successfully gathered.
Gone backwards though, so Lancaster will retain
straight
possession.
on. York's defence is fast on. However, I think Lancaster have retained it, however, losing about 10 metres.
Kept in possession, out to the pod.
It's been dropped, knocked on.
York really struggling to get out of their own 22 here. These kicks aren't going quite how they want them to. A bit of wind, bit of nerves. They're just not quite going far enough for them to exit properly.
Yeah, the start of this second half has been a bit all over the place, with quite a few penalties being given, knock-ons, it's turnovers. It's been a bit scrappy. We've not seen any stable play so far.
Yeah, new players on. We've got Hazel Draper on at 15, currently number 21. The white bows in her hair for York.
Bows seem to be the fashion this year. I've seen a lot of them.
Oh, God. York, they're obsessed with them. Honestly, so many bows. Hazel Draper down the
Lovely.
far wing.
Just caught by Lancaster.
Just about kept in field, though they're very close to the sideline.
Lancaster's line speed has been very quick so far.
They've been
Lovely
incredibly
tip on,
aggressive.
though, by York. However, the whistle has been blown.
Not entirely sure what for. York
Penalty. I'm not sure what that was for.
No idea.
No, I didn't see his hand movement. It's been tapped
been
by number
gone.
9, who is running on her own.
Coco Johnson
Very
in need
brave.
of support here.
Yes, however, just knocked on. Oh, no, I think it was, just
knocked
slightly
on.
knocked on in the tip. In the tip-on of that pass. So that'll be a Lancaster scrum, about on the York's 10 metre line. So we've not really gone anywhere. We've been playing a lot of
time in York's own half here.
York's half, but not really in the 22. A lot of it's kind of been in between the half and the 22. So
it's that odd bit of the pitch where
Yeah.
you're like, do we exit? We're not really in danger, but we're not getting anywhere.
no,
Very back and forth. I suspect nerves hitting a little bit after half time.
Yes.
You always get a little bit kind of, oh, what's going on? And York, if they want to win, need to try and get some scores on the board, really.
lovely kick from number 10 Lancaster. However, has been regathered by York. York number 21 making a run. Really taking a few people to get her down, which is really
fighting
impressive.
to stay on her feet there. Number 21, Hazel Draper with the carry. 9 out to Pod. Taken in, but
However, I
Lancaster
believe
got
it might
that
be
hand
stolen by
right in that
Lancaster,
ball.
yes. That is Hannah Ashworth, the captain of the Twos, who has stolen that ball. So it is
Textbook turnover that.
a
Perfect.
textbook turnover, just straight in as soon as the tackle's made. So that's Kate
Kick the
Parker
line out.
kicking for touch, making very good meters.
And she has managed to keep it out of the pit behind us. York making some changes here.
There's also been a
Bomb
change
squad coming
with
on.
Lancaster, so it will now be Ellie Speakman, number 3, our front row prop, who will be doing the line-out throws rather than Elizabeth Murphy, who I think has gone off now.
Jazz Morris, Beth Searo, and Ella Bolster coming on here. Number 8, 1, and 3 in that order. Unsure of exactly who they're coming on the pitch for. And coming off is Sam Hall, Ruby Clark, and mystery person who I can't see right now.
York almost stole the line out, however, Lancaster managed to regain it somehow. It's been tipped
Excellent.
onto the pod. Hannah Milling making a run for it. She's an incredibly strong runner. When she gets her hands on
Fantastic
the ball,
line
she's
there.
so hard to get down. It's been tipped onto the pod outside. 10, Kate Parker 10 is setting up the backs for a backs move out wide.
York need to get around the corner here in defence. They've left some gaps.
The ball is...
Ball fumbled but gone backwards, so Lancaster retain possession. Back out to the pod. In the middle of the pitch here in York's 22. Making ground every carry, looking really dangerous. Out to 10, out to 12.
Yeah, York's line speed really pressuring the 10. Up on her really fast. It does look like with these last couple of phases, Lancaster haven't been going forward. They've kind of been going backwards, but not really going forwards.
Yeah, York tackling been very good.
Yeah, dominant tackles being put in.
Out to 10, out
10
to
tips
12,
to 12.
15.
Almost intercepted by York 11, who almost got it.
Knock on somewhere in here. Not entirely sure who it was.
No, I'm not sure either. I
York
think
ball, so gone forwards off Lancaster there.
a very good read by York 11.
Yes.
Very good read.
Shooting him very well there. Bit of a loopy pass.
Yes, yeah. So, from this position on the scrum, what do you think the play will be?
I suspect they'll go for an exit kick as well. We've got 2 kickers on the pitch now, both Hazel and Poppy. Excellent proficient kickers. Hazel a touch and football player.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, just can't get enough of it.
The utility player.
There you go. Hazel Draper there with the kick.
Lovely kick. Nice kick.
Gone very far. And gone into touch.
Which is what you want from that position on the pitch. You know, you don't really want it to stay into touch. You want to make touch so that you get that break and play.
And York have now got a good 20 more metres wiggle room. Even though Lancaster will have the ball, they're much further away from their own try line and in much less danger. So Lancaster line out here.
Lancaster lineouts have been a bit ropey. Some of them have been really good, some of them have not been. Let's hope this one is...
A little bit off and on. York have been heavily pressuring them. And
Yeah.
I think they've overturned it there.
I think York's pressure, putting up their player in that line-out, has really disrupted.
So the whistle's gone.
I think it's going to be a scrum for a knock-on, but I'm not sure. I think it's going Lancaster's way. Must have just been knocked by the defensive attempt by York in the line-out.
Yeah, it happens.
Setting up for a scrum in the exact same position as there have been many this half. I think we've had about 4 scrums in this exact position.
5 meters. Another free kick for
Free kick
Lancaster
in the scrum.
here.
Something is really
going
not
wrong.
going well. The ref is really not liking what York is doing in these scrums. It'd be very interesting to have a ref mic so we could hear.
Yeah.
And Lancaster is tapping going to Hannah Milling, 19, who is
Absolutely
such a strong
storming line through
runner.
there.
She is so hard to get down.
She's tall. That's all.
Yeah,
tall people are always
tall and
difficult
just
to get
very
down.
quick.
So Lancaster in possession of the ball here, just outside the York 22.
That is
Out to 11 on the wing. Fantastic.
very
tackle
good
there
read
from
by
Tony
York. A nice play to get the ball out wide by Lancaster.
Out to the pod. Number 8, Lancaster
Number 8,
taking it in.
Lila Shuttler taking it in. However, I think York might have. They did have hands on the ball, but I think Lancaster have just managed to keep it. Hannah Milling once again taking it in, making a good few meters. Who's almost tipped it, thought was going to tip it on.
She's been an absolute weapon since she's come on.
Absolutely. And in fact, I think she was quite nervous coming into this match because fresh her first roses and she's doing amazing. As Patty Elliott currently got it, who's tipping it on to Clemmy Anderson on the wing.
Tackled down by Hannah Drake, number 12. Lancaster
Very
just about still in
aggressive
possession.
counter-ruck by York as well. However, Lancaster have kept onto it.
Out
Emmy
to the pod.
Wilson taking in our president for Lancaster.
Out to 10.
10 pulling it in to the
Crosses
9.
it in and offloads
That's
to number 9.
Hannah AC who's doing a run.
First time we've seen her carry the ball.
Lancaster need to adjust to not having a 9.
Pick and go here.
Ellie Speakman with the pick and go, followed by Lila Shuttler who's supporting her.
Ball's gone loose and
Ball's gone loose
regathered
been
by
regathered
York.
Once again, a really good defensive read by York.
Yeah, a bit of a loose pass from Lancaster there.
Yes, there's been a couple of those going out to the wing.
It's hot. There's probably sun cream on the ball.
Yeah, it's probably very hard.
Out to 5, Alex Hill on the wing for York. Struggling to get it down, but just about now.
Looks as
Egg to
though
Hazel Draper
York
and
is-
the kick.
Straight out. That's what York needed in that moment. They're pressurised, not far away from the try line. They needed to just get it out.
Excellent defensive set from York there.
Very good defense. I mean, this half so far, I mean, we're probably about 20 minutes into the half, and not been a score in comparison to the first half, which it just shows that whatever was said at half time has worked for York.
Right,
Lancaster line out.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's see how this one goes. York have been putting a lot of pressure on the line out. Izzy Solomon usually the one going up here. And again, she goes up,
line
but
out has been
Lancaster
good.
retained possession.
Straight to 10. Tip to 12, however,
Ball gone loose, but gone
loose
backwards.
Off
Offloaded.
to Katie Morgan. It went loose again to Patty Elliott, but went backwards. And to Laura Rugby, however, when the ball went loose, I think it must have just been slightly knocked on. It's unfortunate. These passes to the wing are just going a little bit off for Lancaster.
Yeah, they're getting a bit panicked, I think.
Yeah,
they're so desperate to get that ball out that sometimes the pass is just not quite getting there.
No, I think it's these mid tackle passes where they're kind of trying to tip it on, but just not clean enough.
Ruby Dorsey losing the block. And we've got 2 substitutions coming on. Lily Rogstad back on and Emily Poole coming in in the second row, I presume.
I don't believe there's been many changes for Lancaster's lineup. I think there's been
I've not noticed many.
one prop replacement, and I believe there's a new flanker on, and one person in the back line who has changed.
Yeah. Elika Hoffer and Lily Roberts coming off there. Fantastic shifts from both. Especially Lily Roberts coming in to the starting jersey when she hadn't planned to.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I can't remember exactly who came off for it, but we had a last-minute injury, so that scrum just gone a bit awry.
Scrum completely twisted. I'm not sure what actually happened there. I think the ref has called for a reset.
We've got a new front row in, so takes getting used to. No infringement been called, so just a reset.
Still York's put in.
Again, a scrum about 5 metres back from the halfway line.
It seems to happen a lot in this area of the pitch.
Yeah. There we go, that scrum better.
The better scrum. Lancaster actually putting a lot of pressure on York. However,
collapsed again.
The ref has blown his whistle. Probably for a reset again.
Okay, York trying to fix it by shuffling everyone around.
So what, from this position in the pitch, what would you think? Do you reckon they'll run it or do you reckon they'll kick it again?
It's an interesting one. I think they'll run it, but it's a bit of a weird one to be in and to be stuck in.
Area of the pitch where you're not sure what could happen really. You don't need to exit, but
you might.
Would you do it?
They'll want to go forward, so I think they'll carry.
Oh, and just knocked on from the initial pass from the scrum.
Yeah, unfortunate that.
Unfortunate. So it'll be a Lancaster scrum
this time.
In the same place.
Pretty much a little bit further in
field.
field.
A little bit further, yes. Lancaster has a. I know the twos have a lot of good scrum plays, so I'm not sure which one they'll go with. But I don't think they'll kick it from here. As much as we love the kicking game, I don't think that'll be the plan.
Number 4 for Lancaster has just run off. I'm not sure who's come on for her.
So that's Isabella Medley who's just come off. Hannah Ashworth, the Lancaster captain, has just gone over to talk to the ref. I'm not sure what she'll be talking about, whether that'll be a warning or whether... I don't think it... No, it wouldn't be a warning because they've not had a penalty or anything. I wonder whether they're talking about the replacement.
Yeah, sometimes refs get a bit funny about you just running replacements on and off. Which is understandable, I guess.
Yes, yeah. What you don't want us to be playing with more people on the pitch than you need.
Or fewer.
Yeah, very true.
Right, out
quite
to
a
10.
Nice scrum.
Out to number 11 of Lancaster.
Laura Rugby doing a nice tip-on pass to Lila Shuttler, number 8. However, I believe York have their hands in the ruck and have got hands on the ball and have turned it over. Yes.
York penalty there. Ruby Dorsey with the turnover, playing at 8 at the moment.
York number 9 wanting to go quick, however, the ref wasn't looking. So
tapped and gone out to Alex Hill. Makes it through the first tackle by number 9 Lancaster, but brought down a couple of metres later. Out to 10, out to Pod again. Ruby Dorsey carrying it in. Out to Verity Faith, number 6, tipped on. Lily Rockstad, number 4. York slowly making metres here.
Lancaster going for the turnover and successfully making it.
Lots of turnovers happening.
Lots of turnovers. Game. I think number 9 Lancaster looking for that quick tap, but I don't think the team are on board with it. She's always looking for it. Yeah, she's Lancaster number 9 Hannah AC is always looking for the quick tap and goes.
Lancaster in possession of the ball here. In very much the same position we've played most of the game.
Yes.
About 5 metres into York's own half.
Yeah, lovely pass from 10 to Hannah Milling, number 19, who's made metres on that run. Once again, one of those players you just can't get down easily. It's number 10 to Amy Atwood, number 1. Ruck has been taken quick to 10, who's passed it to Patty Elliott. Tipped on to number 9 to Katie Morgan. Oh, just tipped on to...
Out she goes.
Oh. Number 11 Lancaster manhandled into touch by number 14 York.
Yes, I believe they'll go back for the knock-on the pitch before going out into touch.
Yeah, Lancaster scrum here.
And York scrum, I believe.
Oh, sorry, yes.
Go through your process.
So scrum's been a bit volatile, a little bit all over the place, but
Yes,
Getting into the later half of the game now.
love to have a ref mic and understand
it
what's
would be
going on.
good.
It'd be great. We might have a good look at actually what's going on.
Yeah.
Immediate free kick against
Penalty.
Lancaster this time. Oh, penalty, sorry, not free kick.
First time the scrum's gone York's way, really.
Yeah, I'm not actually, I don't think that by the looks of it, Lancaster knew what actually happened. Number 9 going quickly, doing
Coco
very well to
Johnson
stay
there.
up for as long as she has. Who's tipped the ball on to,
Number 4, York taking it down. York finally out of their own half.
I think for the first time this game, which is,
First time in a while, definitely.
York playing a fast-paced game,
Out to 10.
fast-paced phases.
Out to 12, 13. Out to number 11.
Oh,
out
lovely
to 15,
lines and-
Hazel Draper with a fantastic
Going down the
score
wing.
down the wing.
However, just caught on that wing.
Managed to remain in touch, so York about 15 metres into Lancaster's half, right out of the far touchline. Out to the pod, Verity Faith, taking the ball in, making a few metres. Out to 10, and to pod again.
Yeah, Lancaster defence up on them quick. However, on the left-hand side of the pitch, they're looking a bit sparse and not many people. However, I think there's just been a penalty against Lancaster.
Hands in the ruck for that.
Yes,
Lancaster giving
number
away a
9
few
once again
penalties in
going
a
quick.
row.
Yeah, Lancaster has been giving away more penalties than very much the first half. First half very disciplined. However, this half not so much.
Yeah, exhaustion, I suspect.
Yes, definitely.
Lancaster been using their subs much less than York, so players not getting quite the rest that York has been doing.
Doing
Right.
well to defend against those pick and goes though. Lancaster have been.
Yeah, you cannot fault Lancaster's tackling. It's been excellent, barely any missed. York 10 out
Oh,
to
lovely
pod.
hands by number 7, I believe that was York, catching it from behind. The ball is out to York number 10 to the 12. Doing a lovely little run through. Ball is being played slow. Number 9 controlling the pace, lovely.
Out to Alex Hill, number
Nice,
5.
nice tackle made by Lancaster.
Lancaster
I think
pressuring
Lancaster
that
may have stolen
breakdown
that.
and stolen it,
that.
yeah.
That's number 12. Captain Hannah Ashworth once again making a turnover. I think Lancaster are looking to kick it, yes. For that exit. Will the kick chase be on? I think Hattie Elliott, number 15, leading that kick chase with Erin Nuttall.
Picked up by number 11, Misha Burrell.
Yes, taken
of
down
York.
by both those on the kick chase.
Unsure of exactly who has the ball right now.
No.
York in possession, out on the far touchline, back in their own half.
Oh, I think the ball was loose and it's been picked up by Lancaster player. It's all very scrappy at the moment. The ball's loose and it's been picked up by number 8 Lancaster to number 15 Patty Elliott.
Out to pod.
Out to the
No
pod.
one
Oh,
with her
very
though.
dominant tackle made by York there.
Ruby Dorsey there, wearing number 14, but playing at 8, I promise.
Lancaster playing a controlled and slower game at this point. The ball has just been lost forward, I believe. I think York may have possession of it now.
Yes, York turned over. We'll have a scrum advantage.
Going for that pick and go down the blind side.
And again, I suspect.
Again, yes, going for that pick and go once again down the blind side.
Got to be careful here. You don't want to be picking too close to touch.
No.
There we go. Back in field this time for the pick.
Managed to do a little bit of a breakdown that I think they've been pushed into touch.
Lancaster supporters making their
Making
pleasure
it known. I mean, so it's been a great half so far, really even. It's been a bit scrappy, lots of penalties conceded, however, just a very even match.
But no points.
No points, which is very different from the first half.
Yeah.
First half was lots more of a backs game, whereas I think this so far has been a forward-heavy
Yeah,
game.
very much. The backs have contained each other. There's been a few
Yes,
breaks down
yeah.
the wing from both teams. I think we're going for a water break.
Yes, so that's probably about maybe just over halfway through this second half.
Yeah,
Seems
that would
about.
make sense.
So has York not had a boot camp for Roses? What's your protocol pre-Roses?
Not an official boot camp. We amp up training obviously after the season finishes. We were unlucky in that we had our Easter holidays. I don't know if yours was the same, but it was 2 weeks before Roses.
2 weeks?
Yeah, so we
Oh.
had like 3 weeks of Roses training, 2 weeks on holiday, and then 2
Oh.
weeks back, which was just it was a bit.
That's really
It was really
bit
awkward
strange, yeah.
timing. But with Roses training, we encourage a lot of independent fitness. We've started a run club once a week, group gym sessions, and a lot of team bonding that's been going on.
I feel like that's so important, and
Oh yeah, 100%.
that's something that we find during boot camp is you just spend so much time together in those kind of intensive sessions running up to it that you get to know people so much more in like such a big club. You know, there's people that you're close with, some people that you don't know as well, but you have to know everyone.
Yeah,
It makes you work so much closer as a cohesive team.
Yeah, and especially when selection is up and down,
Yes.
sometimes you get so used to being in one team and don't get to know the rest of them, and then all of a sudden, you've gone
You're
up
playing
to the
against,
ones, or
You're playing around people who you've never played with before.
Suddenly you're threes captain.
Yes,
or
yeah.
All sorts happens during Rose's selection. The twos team has changed a lot this year, but we've got a couple of players, Ali Malik and number 13, and Lily Rogstad, who have played every single one of the twos games this season,
Oh yes,
which
it's impressive. It's very
incredibly
impressive.
And they owe me a lot in match fees. They actually don't. They're both wonderful. They've paid them all. Shan't slander them on TV.
So did you say you've got a lot of kind of newer faces in
Yeah,
your twos?
we had over 40 freshers join
Oh wow.
our club this year, and the majority of players on this team have picked up rugby or picked rugby back up at uni.
Right.
So off the top of my head, Tony number 14, Poppy number 10, and Verity number 6 were the only ones who have played before the season.
So we've restarted with a York line out, which York have retained, and the ref has called a penalty.
Oh no, I think we've got a head injury,
head
so we're
injury.
stopping for that.
So we restarted with the line out, which was a lovely line out held by York, kept by York. I believe it was a York line out. I'm not actually sure. I didn't see.
I think so.
I think it was, but they managed to retain the ball anyway, whether they threw it in or not, and did a lovely few phases. And in fact, had a lovely line by one of your players. I'm not sure what her number was.
Number 8, Jazz Morris.
Lovely line, but had to stop for a HIA.
Yeah.
Which
I think
one?
it's number 10 of York here down. Not entirely sure where she's hit her head, but we take head injuries very seriously in rugby.
Yeah.
They're an unfortunate part of the game.
Yes, yeah. You just have to be so careful with it, and you know it's so good to see refs being so on top of it.
Yeah.
I suspect probably from the linos they're mic'd up with the ref. It may have been one of them who had called something, because I think the ref had his back to the play.
Yeah. And oftentimes you hear players on the same or opposite teams calling for the ref to stop.
Yeah.
One of the best things about rugby.
Yeah, it's
a
very
great
much
deal of care over
yes,
each other.
Yeah. You know, it looks like a very aggressive sport, but in fact everyone's just looking out for one another.
Everyone's really cuddly deep down
Yes,
inside.
yeah. So we will be restarting with a scrum York put in because they last had possession when the play was stopped.
Number 10 staying on. Clearly been cleared by our physio, who I think is an actual physio this time. To be a York, like you said, a York put-in.
Yeah, so let's hope that the scrum is maybe a bit more stable. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if there's been any changes on either side.
No, I don't think so. Last one, a penalty was given for the loose head pulling down. So you need your elbow up when you scrummage. This one's been reset for God knows what reason. Stability, probably. That's what it usually is. Naughty front rowers.
There's a lot that goes into scrums, though. I find them very fascinating. I'd hate to be in one, but I find it fascinating.
Yeah, incredibly technical. Especially the higher the level you get, the more everyone cheats, and the more you have to deal with everyone cheating.
There's a lovely line by York number 11 out on that wing. However, it's been taken down. York are just running a phase of pod. I think it'll be another. Oh, and
York
they've got advantage.
Not rolling away.
I think Lancaster managed to get their hands in that ruck. However, because of the penalty, they will be going back 10, and York will retain possession.
Really love to see a score this half. Don't even care who it is at this point.
Yeah.
It's been a bit of defensive rugby, but it would be nice.
It would be nice to see something. It's been a very tight, even second half. Lovely tackle, initial impact tackle, and which has caused the ball to be dropped. However, the ref has blown his whistle.
Having a little chat with the players here.
Yes.
Scrum down, Lancaster ball.
Yes. So from this area in the pitch, I would suspect that Lancaster would look to exit. However, it's like that funny area in the pitch where you could exit or you could run. Running would be a little bit risky, but exiting may not offer you too much. So it's up to the 10 and the back line's decision as to what they think is the best. But I think that they'll be kicking. Yeah,
Lancaster wings splitting, one on either side now. They've not stacked everyone on one side, which you quite often see happen. Out to 10, and we are going for a kick.
Patty Elliott leading that kick chase with the ball being gathered by York number 10. However,
it's come forwarded.
Regathered by Lancaster, so they will be playing the advantage for that knock-on. That's Emmy Wilson with a lovely carry there. Oh, and it's just been knocked on by Lancaster. And the advantage they were playing for the knock-on was over at that point. So it'll be a York scrum.
Almost this entire second half has been played within the middle third of the pitch.
Yes.
We've had almost no breaks beyond that. A couple of run down the wings, but both have been contained.
No. Yeah. It's been very phase play rugby.
Reminder for everyone, score at the moment, since we haven't had any since half time, it's 24-5 to Lancaster. 2 points on offer for this game in the Rugby Union seconds.
Yes, so it's a York scrum. Lancaster have just had a change in the back line with
Anna
Anna Lyon coming back on,
and in
fact they've turned it over, which is very impressive with the most recent scrums that we've had. That's Hannah Ashworth taking it into contact. Lancaster going for a forward pod. Hannah Milling taking it all over. Chopped down very nicely by a York player.
Out to 10, out to 15.
15 running it
Lancaster 11 down on
Laura
the wing.
Rigby running down the wings. However, she's been caught and it's been knocked forward. I believe it was blocked by a York player in the offload attempt.
Gone back off a York player, so no infringement. Lancaster remain possession of the ball, but we've got a player down injured. So we're going to stop the game here.
Yes, so just at that scrum, we had Anna Lyon come on, and we had number 21, Erin Nuttall, come off, and Anna Lyon come back on from her starting position, and I believe she's back in the centres. And they've had a rejig. They've had Katie Morgan come out back onto the wing from centre position that she was playing.
Yeah.
I believe the person who's down right now is number 15, Patty Elliott, which will be a huge dent for Lancaster if they go off. They've been huge impact in the backs plays, and it's had a great season so far.
I won't get to look at the cool hair anymore.
I know, it's wonderful. I believe they've got stars on their head.
Yeah, they look in a little bit of pain. It looks like their knee. We've been lucky so far in the games that we've seen. The women's, at least, have had no serious injuries.
Yes.
The threes earlier ended 24-22, I think.
Yes, it was a great game.
To Lancaster. Fantastic game with a Lancaster score right at the death to win it. Yeah, we've had no serious injuries so far.
Which is surprised with how
solid the ground is.
You'd expect harder impacts to be made on the ground, but it's it's fortunate that there has been no injuries.
Yeah.
But it's a lovely day. The sun has kind of peaked and there's no more clouds really. It's just straight sun, quite hot. So I suspect they'll try to get the team some water on in this little break.
Yeah, both teams having a chat. Lancaster the slightly more sombre of the two.
Yes, it seems as though Patty Elliott will come off, unfortunately. Seems as though they've hurt their knee.
Fantastic effort today.
Yeah,
Done so
fantastic game
well.
so far, and you couldn't have asked for much more from them.
And the whole crowd and both teams clapping them off here.
Yes.
Hopefully it's nothing serious. I've had my share of knee injuries
Yes.
and they're not pleasant. Swift recovery.
So I believe that it will be restarted with a Lancaster scrum. I think that's what it stopped
Lancaster were in possession when it stopped, so it should be a Lancaster scrum
on.
to start.
Yes. Lots of bows in York hair, which I love. I'm taking so much inspiration for tomorrow for myself.
They're slowly sliding their way out of ponytails. I think a couple of people have lost theirs.
So we are almost just outside of the 22, I believe. So Lancaster will probably be looking to do an attacking play, maybe doing some crash balls in from the centres, perhaps. But it's an area of the pitch where you can be a bit more, have a bit more freedom in how you play and what you do.
Yeah. You can be nice and aggressive here.
Scrum has been asked to be the ref not happy with it, so he's blown his whistle and is going to reset it. Very unstable scrums this match.
Yeah. Sometimes they just don't.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Yeah.
Especially, I know York have had several changes in the front row. We've got an entirely new starting front row now of Sam Hall, Verity Faith, who's usually a second row, and Captain Ruby Clark, who's usually a second row. So, bit of a mishmash front row, but done quite well that one.
The second attempt actually went well, and it was a centre crash. However, it has been stolen by York. They have managed to stop the Lancaster 13 from releasing it. So number 9 for York has passed it to the
Lily
pod,
Roberts.
who's running on.
Lancaster probably set further than 10 metres that they needed to be there.
Yes, yeah.
Handicapped himself a little bit.
Being
with the run on.
overcautious.
Out to the pod. Izzy Solomon carrying it in. Makes it past the first tackle, but it's brought down by the second. And then 9 to 10. Out to 12, Hannah Drake.
Lovely line from the number 12, I believe
Dropped
that was for York.
backwards.
I believe it was
And
just a
knocked on the
slight
floor.
knock on, yeah. So it'll be a Lancaster scrum from the same area of the pitch that the previous one was. I believe it will be the same type of play that Lancaster go for, some centre crash. And I believe that the 10 has come off for Lancaster. So I think that the setup will be either our 12 will have gone to 10, or it will be Katie King, who's just come on, gone to 10, who she used to play 10 for the twos. I think she played 10 for the twos 2 years ago at Roses. So she's
Very
back to her former position, if that's the case.
Back to the old ways.
Back to the old ways indeed. Looks like a pretty stable scrum this time.
Yeah, gone nicely that. Out to 10, new one.
Katie
Out
King
to 12.
Hannah Ashworth out to the wing. Katie Morgan, however, closed down by York.
Since those first couple of breaks.
So I
Penalty
believe
to
that
Lancaster there.
York is being penalised for having hands in the ruck. So it'll be Hannah Ashworth kicking for touch for the penalty.
Oh, she's got it.
And
in
it's
the pit.
gone down the ditch. Oh, but a new
And
ball, a new ball has arrived.
Disappeared. Just saying, it's a 50p fine. We'll be invoicing her later.
If they go down, are they fully lost?
No, there's a little stream down there.
Okay.
It just means someone's got to get their feet wet trying to climb in and get it. That's why we've got spare
that's great,
balls
that's
hanging
great.
around. Honestly, I don't know why they put it there.
So this will be a Lancaster line out with
Number 2 thrown in.
the
And
original.
caught at the front very cleanly.
Our original line-out throw it back on, and it's been successfully. The line-out's been successfully completed, and it went out to the pod with Hannah Milling running meters and meters and meters.
They're just so slippery. No one can get their hands on
She's
them.
such a slippery player, it's impressive. So play was crashed in by Lancaster centres, with York doing a pretty effective counter ruck, but not winning the ball.
Very slow ruck, that one. And Verity
Yes.
Faith shooting in to take the 9 out there. And a forward crash. So Lancaster retain possession. Out to 10. Outdoor pod.
Yeah, Lancaster
Tex was on there.
have been losing a few meters until that carry by Ellie Spiegman, which she got
Just
about
incredible.
5-10 meters
Ball
on that.
stolen from
However, ball has
York.
been lost. Yes. So York probably should be looking to exit at this point.
Incredibly close second half
Yes,
we've had here.
yeah.
Score is still 24-5. Not a single change since half time.
No,
and ball's been
ball
stolen
has been
by
stolen,
Lancaster, number
yes.
19 again. It's been an absolute rampage.
Yeah. So in this half, there's been no scores still. It's a 0-0 half, despite the score in the first half.
York really come back out fighting.
Yeah, the defence from York has just been insane. Their line speed has been so impressive. And that is that.
Full time.
Yes. So no score in the second half. However, score was 24-5 to Lancaster.
So a second win for the day for Lancaster.
Can I go out there to celebrate? Oh, thank you.
Right then, end of the game. So then, a very close second half.
Absolutely.
Lancaster came out storming in the first with 2 very quick tries. And then since then, it's been slow. Very back and forth.
And we have jubilant celebrations all over the pitch. I think that was potentially a bottle of champagne.
Yeah. We've been on a drinking ban for over a month. I'm
Yeah.
so very happy to get it down. And
Absolutely. So that will, of course, increase Lancaster score overall
2 points.
for Roses. Yep.
As well.
And I'm sure they're absolutely thrilled. And I think we might be having a few of the players down in a couple of minutes to interview just on their opinions and perspectives of the match. What was your favourite aspect of the game?
Oh, I'd like a tight game personally. I think they're more fun. I'm walking into a cable. I think, not to be cliche, but everyone looks so happy. And I am a York player. I'm very proud of our twos and how much of a fight that both teams put in the second half to keep it 0-0. I think standouts, Lancaster number 11, incredible, just absolutely rapid. And Lancaster 19 has made some just stormers down the middle of the pitch. Takes 4 or 5 people to get her down.
Absolutely incredible skills, honestly, withstanding all that pressure. And the current score overall is Lancaster with 112 points in Roses and York with 85. So Lancaster is storming towards the required 172.5 points to win.
Although we made bets yesterday about what time Lancaster would win Roses. And,
Yeah. Well, they haven't won yet. You never know. York is still in with a chance.
We'll just win everything today.
But yeah, great scenes of celebration for all their hard work from both teams, actually. York put in quite a bit of effort, and obviously they've been preparing for this day for weeks and months.
Yeah.
So incredible performance from both teams, and I'm sure they've got lots to be proud of.
Yes. If you would like more rugby, there's always more rugby going on. The Rugby Union men's firsts are on at 1 o'clock tomorrow.
Yes.
And the Rugby Union women's firsts, who are closing ceremony, are on at 3. So tune in for both of them.
Or, the weather is fantastic this weekend. Why not come down and watch? There are quite a lot of people, hundreds, honestly, watching the matches today. So turn out. It's a wonderful day out, and it's a wonderful mood out here. And they're really great, high-quality athletes. Very incredible to watch. So go out and support York.
Yeah.
Or Lancaster, indeed.
If you are so inclined.
Yeah. So,
Sorry.
so indeed, an unfortunate circumstance for York, but I'm sure they will recover.
Yeah.
And I mean, how do you, as a rugby player, recover from losses? What's your perspective from games that you don't win?
as much as I hate to say it, we've been doing a lot of losing this season.
Very unfortunate.
We are quite used to it. It honestly, I've never seen a team so happy as the York Twos.
Yeah, absolutely.
I won't say they love losing. They love it when, even if they lose.
Yeah, we've got some group photos going on in between the goals, and I must say they don't look particularly dejected.
No. It's just, a game of rugby on a beautiful day like this.
I think it is a testament
What's
to
the love?
how much these athletes really do love the sport, just appreciate it for the game that it is. And to be fair, it was a very, very tight game, a very tough competition.
Yeah, they have more than enough to be proud of.
Absolutely. Fantastic show. And I'm sure they'll be celebrating. How are you feeling for the rugby ones tomorrow?
I'm a little bit nervous, but
yeah.
We've played Lancaster ones 3 times already.
Okay,
we're in the same league as them, so we played them twice in the league and once in the National Cup, all 3 of which we lost. So we're definitely the underdogs going in. But we've got a very strong team. We've done a lot of work. We've put a lot of effort in. And I just go and play to have fun. So I think it'll be good, and everyone should tune in. We're closing ceremony. The only other thing on is women's futsal, which I won't begrudge you if you do go and watch.
Yeah, fantastic day for this game. And
just waiting for a few players to come over.
Absolutely.
We've been told they know to be here, but whether they actually turn up is a different question.
And you know what? Particularly for Lancaster, I think it's really impressive playing here when you've got to. A lot of these players have travelled over today or yesterday. Some of whom are potentially sleeping in some seminar rooms.
And away rows is I find much more stressful than a home.
Yes.
Because you're not sleeping in your own bed. You've got to travel, you're kind of stuck with your team the whole time. There's no downtime. But yeah, they've coped amazingly well. They're jubilant in their success, and I'm sure Lancaster will be hoping for a red wash. Hello, we've got a Lancaster player.
Fantastic. Right, our Lancaster player is just popping their champagne down. Would you like to come closer?
Not a problem, man.
So, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Ash. I play 12. I captain today. This is my 3rd year.
Fantastic. So, how are you feeling? I mean, I'm presuming you're feeling quite jubilant.
No, yeah, it's really great because obviously both teams spend so long working for it, and it was really great to have such a good game today. It wasn't end-to-end at all. Both sides really put their all in, so it's really good.
Absolutely. And we were just discussing the challenges that you might face as a team playing away. Do you feel like that makes the game harder?
I mean, yeah, definitely. It's a bit of an earlier start. We're lucky to have a bit of an afternoon. The weather is the biggest challenge. The ground is obviously really hard. It's really hot today. But I think everybody came together and it worked out in the end.
Absolutely, a fantastic performance and a testament to all the hard work that you've put in the run-up to Roses. Would you like to tell us a bit about your preparation for Roses?
Yeah, so we've been in boot camp, as I'm sure everybody has. We've been on our drinking ban, so tonight's going to be a really great night for everybody. Training every day, eat, sleep, train together. So it's been a really, really great fun. So I'm glad it's all worked out for us.
Absolutely. And what do you feel like is the number one thing that helps you to work cohesively as a team? Any sort of social activities or anything like that?
Yeah, no, it's definitely because we're all such really good friends. We've got that communication, we've got that ability to talk to each other and give each other that constructive criticism. So being best friends has really helped us.
Okay, great. Thank you very, very much. And I'm sure you're going to be celebrating a lot tonight. So run back to your champagne, I guess. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
So clearly a very, very jubilant Lancaster player. And we have some York players. Hi, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, so I'm Ruby Clark. I'm Alex Hill. And I'm the vice captain of the second team. And it's the best thing I've ever done in my life.
Fantastic. So would you like to tell us a bit about how you're feeling after the game? Obviously not the outcome that you desired, but how are you feeling about your performance today?
Well, I'm pretty sure it's one of our best scorelines all year. And for that, that's a win. That is absolutely a win to me. I'm so unbelievably proud of everyone. It's the best I've seen them play all season. It's the most together we've played all season. So the scoreline just doesn't matter at all. We did incredibly, and the shift that we've put in the past few weeks with this run to Roses has been unbelievable, and you can tell how far we've come. I'm so proud.
And I'd like to say, as our acting captain all year, that is the attitude we've had, because no matter what the scoreline is, this woman is always like pushing us to be so positive and have so much fun, and it's such a fun game. So.
Fantastic. And yeah, I mean, you could definitely tell, even though you guys lost, you clearly were very, very jubilant, very happy faces. Would you like to tell us just a bit about your preparations going into Roses? This is obviously just like a product of all the hard work that you've put in. So what have you been doing in the lead up to Roses?
So much fitness. The fitness has been so hard, and it's like even on those days when it's been like 25 degrees, we're still all out there getting so sweaty. Well, like we're all dropping to the floor, everyone's like gasping for water, and that's what brings everyone together, and that's what gives us the performance that we want. And then after that, it's been our scrumming, and the scrum training has also just been so intense, incredibly hot. It is 8 women all piled together. It's horrid, but again, it paid off. It really, really paid off. I've never felt so comfortable in a scrum this year. It was amazing.
So yeah, fantastic. And obviously, sport and rugby must be a massive part of your life. Yeah. This is just one weekend, but what does rugby really sort of add to your life throughout the year? What does it mean to you?
Honestly, Year Africa is a family. Like, it's the most cringe thing ever, and it's like when other sports say it, I'm like, no, come on. But no, it's such like, obviously it's quite a queer space, and a lot of people join because they think like, oh, it's going to be very accepting, and that's like a lot of people's entrance into it. It's just such an accepting group of people, so welcoming, so friendly, and I know that I kind of struggled to make friends in my course and things because like I came into the course late, I'm a lot older than everyone, and it meant that I've got people here with me supporting me. It's amazing.
Just exactly what she said. It's like the best people ever, and you get to go out and drink every single night. So not every single night, every single week. But there's always a group of people that you can go to for anything, and the committee and the way it's set up is just amazing. And there's always striving to like be a better club, and it always it's just good. It's great.
Yeah. So have you got any plans to celebrate tonight then?
We're going out.
We're going out.
Yeah, I'm so excited to go to Circuit. I'm mourning the loss of Cuda. It was my favourite place in York, so I'm going to go get a takeaway and get to Prees.
Fantastic. Well, you have lots to be proud of. Enjoy your celebrations tonight.
Thank you
so very
much.
much for coming to speak to us, and well done for your performance today.
Thank you so much. See ya.
Right. So that was the women's rugby seconds. So that was the women rugby seconds, and it's been a fantastic game today. Of course, with Lancaster taking the win.
Yeah, 2 wins for Lancaster in the Women's Union today. 24-22 at the threes and 24-5 today at the twos.
And there are lots more things for you to tune into. And of course, come down to the pitches, come down to some of the fixtures. It's a fantastic atmosphere, wonderful weather, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Bring some friends, watch some sport, and support your teams.